Okay, so we got a question about what to do when you've slept with a coworker and now it's awkward. We're getting a lot of these, and I'm not surprised because way too many of us spend our entire lives at work, so when the hell else are you going to meet people to hook up with? I totally get it. I need to say from the get-go that this question is from somebody who had consensual sex with a coworker, not their boss. So this is a consensual hookup between coworkers, and I think that's important because if it wasn't consensual or it was with your boss, I'd have very different advice. Now, look, the reason why it's awkward is because, yeah, this may have been building up in terms of the sexual tension for a long time, but just because you now slipped into this situation doesn't mean you can just slip right out of it. And it's awkward because now that you're sitting at work, you're across the conference room table from this person that you just had sex with, and both of you have a story going on in your head about what happened and what the other person's thinking. There's no way you can ignore it, and there's no way that it's going to disappear. Unfortunately, the only way to deal with an awkward situation is to have an awkward conversation. But look, if you're man or woman enough to have sex with the person, I think you're man or woman enough to actually have a conversation with them. So a couple rules about the conversation. Number one, it should not happen at work. Number two, it should not happen over email or text because you need to do these things face to face in life. Third, no matter how horrendous the sex was or how amazing it was, try to keep it light and positive, okay? Hey, it was really awesome. Obviously, we both kind of wanted that to happen. I'm glad it did. Or if you weren't glad it did, don't say that. But hey, that was great. Really glad it happened. And I just want to clarify where things are going. Now, this is where you need to be honest. If you're interested in the person, say so. If you're not interested in the person, say so. It's so important. And yeah, it's going to bristle a little bit if you're like, that was great, but I really don't want awkwardness at work, and I'm not into dating my coworkers, and can we just be friends and try to move on from this? I had an experience in law school where I had a one-night stand with one of my closest friends at law school, and it was great, but the next morning it was really awkward to see him in class, and I gotta give him props because he came over to my apartment that night, and I kind of thought that maybe this was going somewhere, and he sat me down and said, that was amazing, and it's been building for a long time, and I'm really glad it happened, and I also really just want to be friends. I don't want this to go anywhere. And in the moment, I was like embarrassed and like, but within 24 hours, I knew he was right. I knew I didn't want it to go anywhere either, and things were fine. We remained friends. So these conversations aren't easy to have, but they're so important if you want to remove the awkwardness, remain colleagues, and actually be able to move on.